stocks, and the next on our list is African Rainbow Minerals. Remember, also a diversified group. Quite a strong dependence on iron ore because of the stake that they have in Assmang, which they co-manage with Assore. Remember, this is the old Anglo Vaal Mining, but in its new guise, it's led by Executive Chairman and Controlling Shareholder Patrice Motsepe. Market capitalization just shy of 20 billion rand, 19.8 billion. Price to earnings ratio 16.17, dividend yield 3.84%. In addition to the iron ore, they've also got like platinum interests. They've got some coal stuff over the years. They've done some expansion in copper in the middle of Africa, and they've got something going on in Indonesia.
Yeah, so they're also, I suppose, trying to turn themselves into a diversified miner. Yeah. We see a lot of guys doing this. Just to try and reduce the risk of being exposed to only one commodity.
Yeah.
They also recently signed a deal with ArcelorMittal, ironically, which is what we're going to talk about next, to supply 3 million metric tons of iron ore to them over a year for 3 years. So there's at least some good order book or supply, you know.
Because their iron ore assets is basically the same iron ore deposit that Sishen is across the fence out there in the Northern Cape.
Yes, so they're also looking at mulling the idea of bidding for Anglo's stake in Kumba.
Yes.
And even they said that even if that deal doesn't particularly go through,
that's interesting. I haven't really made two and two together, but it would make sense because it's the single deposit.
It's a single deposit.
Plus, remember, there's a single railway line going down to Saldanha Bay.
What they said they might consider doing is, even if they don't end up buying it, they might look at splitting the overheads with Kumba or with Anglo's as such. Just to try and bring.
It dawned on me that that's exactly what's happened. Is that Anglo has basically said that Kumba isn't necessarily a core asset for them,
because they're getting out of the
historic arrangements. Okay, well that does put an interesting spin on things. You know what they might do is buy ArcelorMittal as well, and you know what? Then they could just rename the company Iscor.
Right? Yeah.
Back to the 1980s.
And then maybe it'll be profitable as a group.
Then the state could nationalize it. Then it'd be just like the back on the old. I'm talking nonsense. Just ignore everything I just said.
Currently, what 44% of their headline earnings comes from iron ore sort of related stuff, chrome sand and iron ore and so on. I'm not so sure that they are, they've promised to continue paying a dividend, which is, to me, a little scary, because I'd rather be invested in a business that says, you know what, we're not going to pay a dividend because we want the business to survive.
You know, anytime I see a company saying that they promise to hold the dividend, I make a note that the dividend is at risk. Because it's like,
why else mention it, right?
Yeah, exactly. For now, we promise to keep the dividend.
But yeah, as you say, they're trying to
but to be fair,
expand.
the future of this company is going to be entirely dependent on the same commodity discussions we've been having with all these other stocks.
Correct.
Let's have a look at the share chart and then decide, are we hot or not? It's going down, it's having tough times, it's perked up a little bit. You've done well if you called the bottom, but does one get in now, hot or not?
Not hot on this one.
This seems a little bit of a gamble to call it.
Yeah, there's no safety net below it. You know what I mean? It is. We'll see if this deal goes through with Anglo's and they do end up buying Kumba.
Then that could change everything.
That could change the game a little bit, but until then, I'm be a bit careful.